Closers, guys, gals, non-binary pals. It's your buddy Jacob, and you're listening to Who the Fuck Closed Last Night. If you're listening to this on the day that it's coming out, Monday, May 26th, 2025, get your ass down to Occidental and come party with us. And if you're listening later, tune into our Instagram, social media. We're on TikTok and YouTube. Check it out. Pretty much everywhere that you can find us, it's at WhoTF_closed last night. And it's okay that you missed this part of the day, because there's going to be another one. Really, we just like throwing parties. Alright? Party all the time, baby. Alright, let's get into this episode. This is Occidental with Jason LeBeau. We're gonna jump into it.
Hell yeah, man, dude! I'm very excited about this one, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole adjustment right now. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
Ben, can you actually tell me that if I'm still in that shot right now, I'm still in? Just because I want to
be able to see.
I just want to be able to see Jason's beautiful face.
Yeah, I can kick it off to the side.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, there
we
we
know
go.
what we're doing.
Jason LeBeau.
Yep.
From Occidental.
Indeed.
Dude, I'm like so excited about this one. Not only because I love this bar, but this was where I had the initial idea of I'd had the idea of doing a service industry podcast, but of the idea of featuring industry bars, and you were like the first person I told about this.
Indeed, yeah, you were actually like right over there on that high top over there.
Exactly, yeah. And I had just had the idea. I kind of pitched it to you. You loved the idea, and you were actually the one who pushed me to keep doing it. You kept asking me about it.
Indeed, yeah.
Which was so cool, dude. So I'm just so happy that.
I'm just stoked to have you on. I mean, at this point in our life, you're mostly just one of my bartenders, and so far it's just been some bar owners. And why we love the owners of bars, getting the chance to actually talk to another person that isn't us, that is just working in our industry, is super exciting.
Yeah, man, absolutely. With that, I mean, how did give us your story of how you got into the industry? How did you fall in it?
Well, let's see, that was fun. It actually happened up here in Colorado. I'd just moved up my junior year. I just finished. It was summer of 2000, and my family was moving up to Colorado. We were living in Lakewood and whatnot. First full service industry job was 2000, and that was over at the Chili's on First and Wadsworth or whatever.
Hell yeah.
I started as a bar back and a host there for a little over a year, and then finished high school, and a year or so later went ahead and moved back home to Louisiana, and started at a Mexican restaurant there. It was, or more like a Tex-Mex restaurant there. It was called Casa Mañana, and that was the first time I started waiting tables, and so getting into the tippable positions and kind of seeing how that was going, and I was like, man, I'm making good money, and I'm only 19 years old. I love this.
Sure.
Sick,
dude. Yeah, I really feel
story.
Classic story. I think that starting at a more chain place, the nice thing about that is that they have their training on lock. There's pluses and minuses working for corporate entities like that. But when you're first getting into the industry, going into a place that is going to teach you the right way because they've been teaching it for 30 years.
Yeah, or a way that at least works for someone, whether or not they have the skills already.
Yeah.
Or not. I mean, one of my last managers that I had, that was a huge thing. He's like, I love hiring people that worked at Olive Garden or whatever. He was like, just because they probably can be taught, and they also know how to greet a table. They don't have some sort of, they didn't just work at their parents' diner growing up or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
But he's like, this is exactly what I want, because they probably are just trying to get out of that Chili's job or whatever. Right. So I can
Yeah.
make them be whatever I need them to be, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Serving wise.
I mean, steps of service wise, and like your basic fundamentals, and like the importance of hospitality from start to finish. I could definitely agree. Corporate jobs, best to start off early. You'll get all of that. That way, when you move into places with a little less structure, that you yourself already have kind of a leg up, and it kind of helps you navigate those places with just that mom and pop flying by the seat of your pants kind of service.
Yeah, and then you can still end up having because I was thinking about this yesterday, because I was complaining. It's January and it's really slow in Denver, at least for restaurants. I mean, I guess for bars, people aren't drinking. No, it would make sense because dry January just hits the city really hard.
It does.
And I was just thinking I was bitching about how much money I had made or lack thereof, and I was like, man, I remember when I used to get so stoked if I made $100. Like the first time I made $100 in a day, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because before that, it was like minimum wage jobs. You could make
$45 in a day.
in a day.
Yeah.
It's like whatever 725 times 12 was. Like just
Yeah.
I was like, before taxes, I think or after taxes, I made like $70 on my paycheck. I will see in 2 weeks. And then I was like, I have $100 cash in my pocket right now. This is mine. They're like, hell yeah. I was like, I think I know what I'm going to do when I grow up.
Yeah, dude.
No, I had my first $300 day. I got hit by another car. It was awesome.
Wait, what?
I have one of these too. Like, this is great.
No, it was right before I moved up here. I was like, had my first day. I mean, I was working at an Olive Garden actually, and I worked like a double where I took a whole section, took the bar, made everyone drinks, and I made like $300 and something in a day. I was like, hell yeah. And I was about to move up here actually, and I was driving home on the interstate, and I was actually, this is a huge confession. Actually, I was drinking and driving at the time. What's up?
Can I provide you guys with some cocktails?
Oh,
Speaking of
sure,
drinking.
absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
What do we
other,
have?
there's other meat.
After midnight,
After midnight?
and a scream of the butterfly for you gentlemen.
Oh my
Look at
God.
Enjoy.
What a treat.
Look at that.
Fair enough. This is actually mine.
Is it really?
You just made.
Well,
This
shit,
is
dude.
fully planned.
Yeah, tell us what. Sorry to hijack the
No,
story of drinking and
it
driving.
doesn't see it. It's so funny. No, I was drinking and driving. I was on the way home drinking. I just cracked the beer early, I mean, I would say if you are going to drink and drive, just crack a beer early right before you get home.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a harm reduction
I
thing.
mean, you get that 20 minutes before you're even going to feel that beer anyway.
I was
so-
on the interstate and I just like get rear-ended by a guy. It was a whole scenario. He like hit and ran me. I like called the beer spilled everywhere. And I was like talking to this cop. I was wearing like a fluffy like fur jacket or coat, and then I was sitting in this cop's car explaining what happened, covered in beer. He didn't mention it actually.
It's really nice.
He didn't bring it up. It was a very chill, sleepy town situation. I don't recommend anyone doing that at all, unless you want a good story 12 years down the road. But I think that's it. I think the back end of that story, there's no funny
Oh,
back end part there.
that's
I just made $300 and got my car totaled.
that's amazing. But at least you made $300.
Yeah.
Did you get money for the total car?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. Insurance covered it. He was
obviously that
driving
was
a
your-
rental. It was great insurance, actually.
Oh, it was a rental? Oh, even better.
Yeah.
That's your money day right there, man. Like
Yeah,
you cashed
yeah,
in
dude.
on like an insurance check and like the
It
biggest
was a payday.
score of
it was
your
a payday.
service industry career. At the
I
moment.
earned that road beer.
Oh my God! All right. Well, we just got surprised by this wonderful cocktail that Jason made. This is your recipe.
Yeah, this
Tell
is
us what's in this.
this is going to be for this coming cocktail menu. Actually, it's already out. It came out on Tuesday.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, this has got some Novo Fogo passion fruit cachaça as the main base spirit, and some fruitful acai. It's like the fruitful liqueurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's got a little of
yes.
that, some coconut cream cordial, and then we got some juice, lemon juice, and a little saline, some strong water golden bitters. And basically, we're going to be adding a little passion fruit syrup and whip shaking that with some pebble ice.
Ah, dude. Okay.
Wow.
All right. I'm going in on it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Well, we don't want to talk about the other one though.
Oh,
I don't care.
we can
who
talk
made-
about this one. This is
No, I don't-
this is actually Lindsay that works over here as well, who's also my partner. She did basically wanted to do a vodka cranberry and just put it on steroids. So what she did was she cooked down actual cranberries and did a milk punch with the vodka she was using, and then they force carbonate it, which makes it super effervescent, but still giving people like that vodka cranberry, but like on a whole new level. Because like when you cook it in with the cranberry and you mix it into the milk punch, it just comes out smooth, but like loaded with that like cranberry Thanksgiving cranberry kind of.
So we're doing this also.
Oh my god.
No, this piggybacks a lot off of part of what we were talking about. I don't know if it would be last episode at this point. One of our recently recorded episodes. Part of our inspiration for why we're even doing all this is kind of where the cocktail scene is now, and industry bars. Obviously, you get to make these amazing cocktails, but when you go to work, you also get to. I mean, you're going to wear this tonight. You get to just wear a T-shirt.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You don't have to do the apron thing, the like, but you're also getting to do inspired cocktails and be, whatever amount of you wants to claim being a mixologist. You get to experiment and you have that platform to be creative, but it's also in a beer and shot type environment as well, where you don't have to be this way if you don't want to be, as a consumer. The environment isn't begging you to do it, but it's available.
Oh, dude, yeah, because there's so many layers to this. Like this is so beautifully put together. Like what was your inspiration for it? What was like the idea that kind of like spurred it?
Well, this actually kind of offshot a drink that our GM, City Canada, and myself were working on, and we had actually were trying to put together one for the chicken fight that fried chicken competition they do here every year.
Dude.
And we just started off with some basic ideas because originally we were using Tullamore Dew for the competition, and it was like pretty much almost everything else was very similar, but the flavor profile was supposed to be going with the mango habanero hot sauce that was going to be the like the dipping sauce for the tenders.
Oh hell yeah!
And we ended up taking the first place judges and people's choice on food. Unfortunately, we didn't win the cocktail competition, which was unfortunate because so many people were like, "This is the best one." We had one lady come in line 5 times, and the line.
She was just loving the drink.
She was just like, "Can I just
Yeah.
have one more of these?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, four more of these, yes, ma'am."
We already got your card, so it's cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. Like, all right, so to backtrack, because we're going to get back to Occidental and all the amazing things you guys do with this symbiotic relationship between this bar and your other bar, Williams and Graham. How did you get into bartending? Because obviously, it takes a while to get to this level.
I would say 2008, I was living in Houston, and I was working over at P.F. Chang's over there, the Highland Village. I was there about 2.5 years before I had actually gotten a chance to get behind the bar.
Yeah.
And it was funny because then we'd do like a lot of BC shots. Like people would ask for, just make me something. And I'm okay. I'd probably been bartending maybe 2 months, and a couple of my friends were already bartenders there. And if we had to do like we'd do kind of like a team build, for the staff. And I just remember them saying like, "It's your turn. You got to make it. Don't fuck it up." And I was definitely voted least likely to succeed. I was as a bartender after that shot. It was
Damn.
funny.
Yeah, so you did have like an initial exposure to bartending being a role where you can make things, you can get inspired, you can try things, and obviously drink a lot of things.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
part of bartending as well. But
The creative outlet, I think,
Yeah.
was the most alluring, or just the sexy part about bartending.
Yeah.
Was you're actually in a creative role.
Yeah.
You're not just in a service role, although you're doing both. But yeah, I have to say that's about when I got into bartending, and immediately after, I was there for about 1.5 years doing that as a bartender, and got a friend who had just reached out and said, "This new place is opening. It's like this really high-end, like just progressive, like Italian concept that's doing nothing but craft cocktails, and this was like 2000, the beginning of 2010. So yeah, cocktails, bars and cocktails weren't really back in full swing yet, at least not in Texas.
So say I think that's around the time that Williams and Graham opened, right?
It was,
that
yeah.
sort of
2008,
2009,
10. Yeah, that's right at the beginning. Yeah.
I would say it was one of those moments where you're like, okay, I actually might have some kind of credibility here. Like, if I want to pursue this, I could probably do this for longer than, the next 3 years, and then figure out what I'm going to do, after you cross your mid-20s.
Yeah.
So I got into there, and my bar manager basically kind of mentored me a little ways through it. She got me hooked up with like, oh, you need to here's a book. Go and read about all of these techniques, and then we can practice. And so she really got me started on the cocktail side of things. And I think it was that moment is about the time where I was like, this is actually something I could get really good at. And if I can actually study, there's like, it's almost like an endless world. New spirits are coming out all the time. New techniques keep getting brought up. Like nobody was talking about fat washing or milk punches, in 2010. Again, at least not in the mainstream or to any other like major level. So like it's all those small things that you just start working on, and the more you work on your own palate, I don't know. It seems like one of those things you could do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude, you become a lifer.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a lifer? Is that?
Oh, I mean, let's see. This is year 25 in the full service industry. Yeah, I think if I was going to change it up, I would have to do it like really soon because I'm already 42.
Right. Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, and we were talking. Well, again, we don't know what order this podcast
It feels
is.
like just one stream of consciousness that I come back to.
Yeah.
When the mic's in front of my face.
Exactly.
It's like we were just talking about this, I swear.
Exactly. Like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. But how there's like, it feels like a stigma has been removed from like being a lifer in the industry as far as like bartenders. Like people are now seeing that as like, you don't hear like, oh, get a real job or oh, what are you pursuing outside of this?
What do you really do?
Yeah, what do you really do?
That's my favorite.
Exactly, because it is like something that you can, like you said, there's so much passion behind it. There's so much to learn about it. It's a deep industry that's more than just shaking and stirring drinks.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, early on in your like cocktail era, after about 2 years in, you're going to think you're just this really awesome, got all this talent. You're hungry, like you're like, fighting for a belt or something, you're in your brain, you're the best you've ever been, but not realizing how much you don't know until, you're around year 10. And then at that point, you've reached and you're like, all the stuff you still don't know, like, again, like, spirit knowledge and wine knowledge, and like in this industry, you can go super deep on either side. Food knowledge, just if you want to like dig deeper in that. Service knowledge, if you're like looking into like sommelier kind of stuff or Cicerone stuff, like in the beer world. All of that can still be incorporated into like your repertoire of like what kind of bars you work at or what kind of restaurant bars you work at.
Yeah. I mean, I just love the way it applies to. It's changing the standard, industry bars is what we're going for, and we're lucky that we're in this time frame where, your industry. But while there are still those divey beer and shot places, and I really hope we get to spend some time talking to some old ornery guy who could just open beers so fast you can't even, that's all I know. I'm thinking of Candlelight, actually. I don't know if you guys have, places with darts in one bathroom, and that, like, as in a single stall for anyone, and it's mostly for people doing cocaine. That kind of dive place. But, the kind of standard of industry bars now is so, like, the same exact person you would find at, a nice steakhouse behind that bar with a lot of nice cocktails. It's just... they're not there. They're just in a bar that's open till 2. They don't have to, maybe the closer didn't get there till 7 or 8, that sort of thing. Yeah. Same person, just different environment that's more casual, and it just elevates that just going out and having a drink after work or the third place a regular.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, when that guy goes out to drink, he's still just getting a better experience.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that, and Jason, we've talked about this too.
Absolutely.
Where like people are kind of over the pretension of like they'll still go to fancy cocktail bars, but they're a little over the pretension, and they do kind of expect nicer cocktails at like more laid back places now. You know?
I think that's kind of what the happy medium is, because I don't want to blame Anthony Bourdain, but like went really hard into like how like dudes that awesome have been in the industry forever and had been through the old ways, and he would like talk about that is his favorite thing, and it shed like a different light. It almost became like kind of a hipster revolution in the bar world, where everybody thought it was cool to go to dive bars, and I'm like, yeah, but like somewhere in the middle there, like it has its limits. Like you go there for the peace, and you go there for the easy, laid back, chill service, the no fucks given kind of mentality. But you can still have that and good drinks and better quality spirits. Everything doesn't have to come out of the plastic bottle in the well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that kind of is what happened with me at some point, because
There's so many
Sorry.
external things happening.
That's a little technical.
We're just rolling with it, baby. We're ripping it, dude.
but if you want to look at it like I was in nothing but like that. I should have talked about this earlier. It's like when you're on the rise, like you're just getting into cocktails, and like I said, you feel like a hot shot. You're like, oh man, I'm learning how to do this, and
Yeah.
you start feeling really good about it. But you start, as you're progressing, you keep climbing, and in the industry as a whole, depending what city you're in, there's always like this weird like clout or like ego that's kind of being thrown around, like
Oh, certainly.
especially like if you're going to bartending competitions, you start seeing a lot of the same people, and it always just, I don't know, it felt like a big wiener swinging match,
Yeah.
no matter what, and eventually you just kind of start getting burnt out on all that. It's kind of hard to feel like you're just in this weird passive aggressive competition all the
Yeah,
time.
just like who's the coolest.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter that everyone's just really good. I mean, obviously in a competition circuit, there's clear winners and people that win less. I guess that's the nice way to say it. Losers, total losers. But yeah, it's that sort of mentality. It's like this is also, an enjoyable way to work and pay your rent, but also have a social and engaging and fun experience while you're getting your bills paid when you're not doing the things you're passionate about outside of work, right? So,
Right. It's kind of easy too if you look at it, because as you spend more time in the industry and you realize where do you go when you get off of work, especially if you're coming from like high-end restaurant bars and
Yeah.
you're going to be off by like 11,
Yeah.
and you're in like your penguin suit or like you said, your apron and your button-down shirt, and how much money you just walked out with, how much effort you put into everything you did that day, and then you're going in and hanging out with like your favorite bartenders who are at those divey kind of places, who just get to say whatever they want, do whatever they want, throw ice at people, tell people to sit the fuck down, get off that goddamn stove. And you're like, man, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh yeah, but I mean, all these nicer places, I'm obviously probably making more money. And then you stop and you think, wait, I tip these guys like $40 or $50 every time I come in. How many people? Oh shit. Am I really? So,
Yeah. What's the quality of the clientele?
So yeah, I guess you eventually go to more just industry-driven bars, and then you start realizing, wait, these people get to look like they want, talk like they want. They could have face tattoos; it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They could shave half their head and leave the other.
Have
Nobody
a
cares.
mohawk? When I met you, you were rocking a mohawk.
I
so.
did, yeah. No, that one actually got really, really big.
Yeah.
I think I had like
Yeah.
9 or 10 inches eventually by the end of it, but.
That seems like a lot to deal with. I mean, I don't put any, I don't have to put it up every day.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I was like, this guy's rock. This guy's been putting in work right now.
Some days were easier than others, I'll tell you. And the longer it gets, and the shorter the inside of your vehicle is, you have to do some head adjusting, unless you have like a sunroof, like a full sunroof. Maybe.
Just always out the window.
Shark finning down the
Yeah,
highway.
very, very Ace Ventura-esque. Yeah.
I was literally gonna say Ace Ventura, just leaning out.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Well, dude, how did you? Speaking of like seeing those industry, how did you end up at Ox specifically?
It's literally just the way I was talking about it. I was working over at the Wolf's Tailor over there in Sunnyside, and had been enjoying like everything I was doing there. They were doing really cool, like to that like tweezer level for everything kind of scenario. Like that's how the back of the house works. So the front of the house, also like you're hand tweezing ice and stuff, picking out the right ice cubes so that it all fits in perfectly, and so much like aesthetic went into that. But I loved coming into Ox after work, even though, because I mean, it was a loud punk rock bar, there were people everywhere, and it just had like that feeling and vibe. And one of the old managers here was actually the thing that just really sold it for me, is he was helping out behind the bar for a brief second. I'd been waiting at the bar, like in a chair for a while, hoping somebody was gonna eventually offer me a drink. And it had been quite a while, and this guy from Florida, big old good old boy sitting next to me, talking, because he could talk to probably just about anybody, struck up a conversation. We were chatting, and the manager had dropped off the food, and the guy tried to grab his attention. He was like, "Hey man, this guy over here needs a drink too." And he turns around, walks up, looks me dead in the eye, takes a tater tot off this guy's plate and sticks it in his mouth, and just literally looks at me, makes my beer, sets it down, and just walks away. Doesn't say a word. And I think it was at that moment I knew. I was like, "That's the vibe. That's I want
to be able to do that exact thing.
I want in on this." And thinking in my head, this is because I didn't really know much about who owned the bar. I didn't know much about anything else. I just knew that it was this really just cool, loud punk rock bar that I was loving going to. So I was like, I should be a shoe-in here. I'm like working, at this high-end spot, and we were doing all this cool shit. And I like the drinks here. The drinks are great. So I applied here pretty much, let's see. I would bring in a, what do you call it? A paper, like cardstock resume every day, slide it under the door, because they opened the door like 30 minutes after, or they opened, the opener was here about half an hour after I had to be at work. And then I found out that nobody was basically getting those. And I was doing this almost every day, literally just sliding it under the door, hoping somebody eventually was going to call. And then somebody that was over at Williamson Graham working got a job over at Wolf's with me. And I started picking her brain. And then eventually, because she was like, "No, we're definitely hiring. They need people." Like, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going to keep doing the thing." At the time, I was living like in Firestone, like 45 minutes north, and it was quite a trek. So trying to like leave early or come in on your day off and do it, it was all that extra driving and stuff just seemed like a lot. So I just kept dropping it off under the door. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of doing that, I finally talked with James, who also works over at WG. He had come over to Wolf's as well, and he had told me, "Oh, no, you're emailing the wrong person." And he gives me like this other email. So all of a sudden I'm emailing resumes, and I'm putting them under the door. I'm emailing 3 different people and sliding it under the door. I was like, I want to work here.
Putting in the effort.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
That was about 4 or 5 weeks of doing that. And then finally I got a call back out of nowhere, and it was like, "Yes, we definitely want to see you tomorrow," And I was like, this is awesome. And in fact, like the greatest thing I think was just my first day here. I was like, I think I found my home. This is like my forever home.
Hell yeah. And how long ago was that?
Let's see, that was this is what, my 3rd January? Yeah, so it's about 2.5, almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in June or July, somewhere in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that persistence. Mostly because so many stories of people getting jobs. Like, this industry is one of those that is still so like brick and mortar oriented. Obviously, you can't make drinks and try them over Zoom. Really,
Right.
You can't serve people in that way. So, one of the things I still love about this, but also that way that people get into the door is like physically putting your resume. It's like you're talking to people like, "Oh no, dude, I'm sure someone the exact wrong person has seen that every day." It's like, You know, it's not just someone that is just not even reading your email or whatever kind of thing. It's like, oh, you just haven't.
Talk to the right.
Yeah, but otherwise it's still like a walk on the door, handshake kind of job environment that I think is just, I really like it. I
Yeah.
think there's just like no way to really know how working with a person is until you're sitting down talking to them. And then 10 minutes in, you might be like, this guy's,
Right.
I need to hire this guy. You know, every job I've gotten in this industry has ultimately been me like sitting at a table somewhere in the restaurant before it opened or in the bar before it opened, or already knowing the people and just needing a job at the right time. You know, it's just sort of,
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because then, you know, I think there's importance to, like you pointed out, the persistence is huge. Showing how passionate, but yeah, having the ability when you sit down with that person to make a good impression, you know, and like really having, you know, obviously you showed them like, look, man, like I'm obviously passionate about your place. I want to be here. This feels like home to me. It's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, the culture here too just is. It seems like amazing as a bartender because it. I mean, you have your regulars, but you also have this like relationship with the bar next door. Can you talk a little bit about how that works between Williams and Graham and how like you guys share a lot of things?
Yes. Funny enough, we share so many things. We have like all the same liquor area. We have the same prep team, the same kitchen. So literally the same people making the food over there, they're making the food over here. We cross-utilize a lot of ingredients, techniques, and stuff like that. So I would say like the vibe is very much different. And it's funny too because we have people that will go to both bars, but prefer one over the other, like as their regular spot. It is two totally different vibes, but the quality and level of service shouldn't ever change from that. Just as the overall ethos is like the hospitality side of it. And over here, I love it more just in the sense that like I get to have like a very realistic conversation with people. Not saying they can't do that over there. I don't bartend over there, so I'm not exactly 100% sure on the vibe with what they are and are allowed to like talk to guests about. Profanity is not unheard of here. But
if you
also,
can hear it on the nights that the music is up, if you can hear
right,
anything, right?
It's funny because on the cameras you can. But yeah, no, the fact that you can have real relationships with people on this side is really the most attractive thing for me, even to this day.
Yeah.
It was very attractive initially, but I would have to say the people I've met here and the relationships we have like cultivated. I mean, I've got a few regulars that are like well beyond just guests to me. They've been guests at my house. We've gone to music shows together. We've like really partied. I mean, one of our regulars here has been to like the last 3 of our Christmas parties for the company because he's just here all the time. And like those kinds of things are really cool. Also, like I've had people from that side over at WG. They would like work over and help us when we were short staffed. So like we sometimes share employees. We've definitely had people who've like gone over and help out hosting or help out bar backing over there.
Sure.
And I mean, I know we've had people like on both sides like help out prep team like on occasion because that's also important, or help out the kitchen, come in and wash dishes if needed.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, like although the vibes are pretty different, we do share more than just a main building and a hallway. That connects us. Like we're connected on a more of a colleague, personal friend on occasion basis.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, we were talking about recently on another podcast about the importance of building regulars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like how it is a soft skill set of bartending is being able to build regulars and how important that is. What advice would you give to like newer bartenders, like how to go about building regulars, how to keep people coming in your doors?
Usually, I just like to treat people exactly how I like to feel. I like to feel like somebody is interested in what I'm saying, making me feel comfortable where I'm at. And sometimes you have people that can do what I call like your typical corporate spiel. And then you have like, you'll hear like next to them speak to a regular they know very well. It's always a lot less formal. a lot more interested. But I'd say you build regulars by paying attention to people. Trying to remember names is always important. And try to leave off, like, not just saying bye to somebody when they leave, but like, try to remember what was the last thing you were talking about the last time they were in, and being able to ask them about how that's progressing next time they come in is that little extra level of special.
Yeah, I love that.
I also say if you ever get off work and you're able to sit at your bar and hang out afterwards, spend time on the other side of the bar with them. Believe it or not, you can build faster relationships and faster regulars from the other side of the bar, just as you can while you're bartending.
Oh, I mean, it's what I love. There's just this like level of trust because I've made bar regulars that have other bars they go to, and they tell me, we'll talk about something. They're like, oh, this guy at this bar, no, he's like from the same town that you're talking about, or like he's from. I had a guy who's like, yeah, you're from Alabama. He's from Alabama too. Go to this bar. They have try the Alfredo at the restaurant. Get the drink from this bartender named Brian. They're like, here's my number. Ask me if you can't remember that guy's name. Just like, they're also, you're a part of them building community in their world too, because you just never know. It's like maybe sometimes people are so swamped with work or whatever, they, work from home people especially, like when they go out to the bar, it's like some of the only socializing they get to do in the world, especially in today's day and age where so many jobs are technology based. So yeah, I love that. Just, it sounds obvious, but just being a real person to them, it could be hard to get out of that code and mode switching when you're at work. You're at your professional thing. You're like, how many lemons do I have left before I need a cup more? That sort of thing.
Yeah, very much so, man. And I think that it's like, because obviously each regular you're going to have a different relationship with. And I think it's really special when you do cross that barrier between them just being regulars and then them being like homies, like them being like, like you go into shows with certain regulars that you're like, all right, like I love my regulars. There's some, I don't actually want to see you outside of work, like I'm fucking good. But there are those that like you cross that line of like, man, dude, like this is becoming a personal friend to me, which seems like it happens at this bar quite a bit.
Yeah, sometimes the bartenders here will actually go on a podcast that you're running. It's awesome.
I would say another fun secret is introducing your longtime regulars to new potential regulars.
Oh yeah, cultivating that community.
Yeah, because sometimes they're sitting next to themselves by themselves.
Right.
Sometimes I love doing it on nights where all my regulars are scattered pretty far, and I'm working the point. I'm like, it'd be a lot easier if I had all of y'all closer together because I could do everybody all at once. It's going to be really easy.
Man, that's such a that's
Meet
such
David.
A good,
Sit next to David, please.
Yeah.
Please,
You guys are both drinking vodka crayons.
Yeah.
Dude, that is such like a good technique too when you're like when you're getting weeded and you have like regulars at your bar. So like where you want to spend time to get them talking to each other, so you don't necessarily
have to be them.
Oh yeah, it's also there's a benefit. There's a group benefit there.
benefit, dude.
But then it gets even better because when those people feel like that is now like their bar, they're welcome there. It's part of their community, and that they're a part of it. It builds an even more solid community here, and like you'll recognize it because all of a sudden when your regulars start walking in and knowing everybody, like knowing each other, and making this big deal, other people are looking at that like, holy crap, like what's going on? Everybody knows everybody here. And it just creates a much better, for the most part, a much better environment and community. Like you said, like every now and then you have that one guy, you're like, yeah, you're regular, but like I don't want anything to do with you outside of work. You have to take the good with the bad, though. I mean, those people obviously keep coming back in because they do feel at home there. So you have to at least keep that on the up and up as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's one thing we haven't gotten to bring up on the podcast yet. But a lot of bars. I mean, I don't know. I haven't spent enough time in other cities. I know one thing in this city that sets certain bars apart is the specific sports team.
Oh yeah.
That they support. So this is a new. I'm looking at it right now.
New York.
It's a New York. Is it all New York sports? What is there?
It's all New York
Okay.
sports. Yeah,
Okay.
specifically. But even more specifically, like we're a Rangers bar, we're a
Okay.
Giants bar.
Rangers and Giants fans.
Knicks for sure.
There's a bar for you if you don't know.
But it gets weird. People always ask because we have the Yankees and we have the Mets hanging up as well. And don't forget Liberty. Yeah, we got Liberty in here too.
Nice.
Come on, and you guys get packed for those games, dude.
Oh man,
like
sweet juice.
it gets insane here.
Yeah.
Like, remember one day our producer Ben back here, we were gonna pop by. I think it was like, was it a Sunday or something like that? I forget what day it was, but it was midday, and we were like, well, Ox will be nice and calm.
I just
Not
can't
at
imagine.
all.
I just can't imagine there being like,
dude.
I can't imagine there being a Broncos bar in New York.
Right.
You know? I mean, if it's there, it's literally just your homie's house actually who has a bar. It's not any of the bars that are actually in the city.
No, not at all.
But you know, a lot of folks from a lot of places here in Denver, even though we have our local bars.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any bars that just support the local teams as much. I haven't seen one.
I haven't seen one that's just like pure.
I know there's like
Broncos.
one bar
There's
that
gotta
all
be.
the Avalanche players drink at, but I don't know. I guess it's an Avalanche bar.
But they actually,
But like,
It's not
they
like
just,
a-
I think a few of them live close by, so that's where they all drink.
it's actually a Toronto bar there. It's all they go there to root for the Blue
teams
Jays.
that they like, yeah.
They have Labatt on tap.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need to know.
Yeah. I think they do actually.
There we go.
It's on Friday. It's one
That's probably why
What
they
is
go
it?
there. Yeah.
151 or something on
Dude.
Broadway. I think it's Sobo 151.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
don't know if that's an industry bar. I don't know if that'll come up for us.
Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of which, industry bar, like this is like, I mean, you promote that you guys are an industry bar.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we got the one of us behind us.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish I've got my challenge coins somewhere. You guys have challenge coins
Oh, yeah.
to give out to industry people?
I better say the indie coins were really popular, and I think he ended up our owner Sean had pumped out like 250 or 300 of them, and they did not stay around very long, and they were just as like the same like how Fernet had printed theirs, you know, and they were nice, heavy, a lot of like work and money went into them.
Yeah, they're
And-
sweet.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, and like it was so weird because like they were gone and they were gone pretty quick, but it definitely made everybody feel a lot more included in the industry world around here. And it was also for us like to help remind people, you know, like, hey, we are an industry bar. We are here to take care of you. We don't have service industry nights here.
Right.
Every night is service industry night. We have industry specials for everyone
Yeah.
in the industry.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah. Where do you work?
Where
Who
you
do you
work?
know there?
Let me see your
You
seven
might,
shifts.
you might get cross-referenced. Dude.
Right.
Exactly. Don't just like throw out a name and say I work at, you know.
I can't imagine. Is there like there's got to be one or two special assholes that act like they're in the industry that don't?
Oh, I've caught a
Who
couple.
would?
Like they
Just
were.
get one night a week somewhere. I don't know, dude. Like, how hard is?
Well, it's funny because you can literally ask somebody where they work. That's
Yeah.
usually how it works. Oh, where are you at?
Yeah.
And they can easily tell you a name of their friend's bar. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, I mean, like, who else do you work with over there?
Yeah.
Especially if it's in this neighborhood because we know pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I've been recently. It's a theory I'm working on. I hope this podcast can help me develop. There's only 2 steps of separation between every bartender and service industry worker in this city.
Yeah.
Just if I don't know them, I know someone who knows them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
I
what's
think
the,
that's the first time I came in here.
Yeah.
I think I was working with someone at the time that had worked here, and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
what are they doing? And I was like, oh, you know,
yeah. It's
still
like the,
drinking.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the Kevin Bacon game, you know. There's
Yeah.
definitely like, it's just that this person worked at this place and knows this person from this. Yeah,
Took a picture with this guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we worked together, but never at that place.
Yeah.
exactly.
And we never would.
Yeah, right.
Fuck that place. That place was Chick-fil-A. Fuck Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, dude.
Fuck Chick-fil-A, man.
Yeah.
Never forget. Fuck Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
We
It's a
served one of
big
those.
thing.
One of those in the podcast.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, nobody ever wants to go to Chick-fil-A unless it's a Sunday anyway.
Yeah,
so-
dude. It doesn't matter why. You can love them or hate them for any reason, but you will hate them for one of those reasons. You know.
You will.
Like if you like it every day, you can't.
not on Sunday.
Not on
no.
Sundays. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
They don't roll on Shabbos.
Yeah. That's kosher company. That's right. Let's talk about a little bit about the industry specials that you guys do offer. Like, what you guys have, like not only drink specials but food specials as well, right?
Oh yeah, so I mean, we do half off wells for industry and half off for net, of course, for industry. Of course. And then half off wells. I mean, wells. We have discounts on draft as well. Nice. Ginny Cream is like rolling in right at like $3 and some change for Indy. I mean, it's kind of a win-win.
More than fair, if you ask me.
We're also doing, we have the Indy Burger. It's pretty basic meat, cheese, and sauce with like fries or tots for like $6.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's substantial enough that luckily our food is good. So that's helpful. But it's not only good, but that's also really affordable for us in the industry.
Oh, they're getting the trash right now.
We are recording on the patio in an alleyway right behind us, so you're going to hear street noise. That's just how it is.
It's our full immersion format.
Full immersion.
Y'all haven't gotten your keyboard with all the sound effects yet? This
Not
is
yet.
kind of like...
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there? There are sound effects on this thing.
There are.
You screw up the recording, Chad.
Oh, if I fuck up the recording, never mind. I don't know. There's different. It's probably playing right now. Whatever.
Oh. Yeah. we'll see in post. We'll see in post.
No. As far as the industry love, Sean is our owner, Sean Kenyon, and he always wanted this to be a place that we took care of our own.
Yeah.
And personally, I love that ethos, and if I am ever a bar owner, I'm going to carry that right along with me, because I mean, for a long time we had very hard jobs, and not saying we still don't. It's just we didn't get as much recognition, and I think just to kind of pitch back to what you were saying about like how the perceptions of a lifer in this industry these days has changed dramatically, especially after. I like to also thank cooking shows and bar shows that are on Netflix and stuff like that highlight like what we do for a living and like how much work actually goes into some of these people's cocktails. And I think education had started seeping out in the public in ways like that that helped get us better notoriety. Again, rock star chefs like Gordon Ramsay and Anthony Bourdain's shows and all these diners, drives, and dives guys, and it brought like a whole new like appreciation to I guess what the public was interpreting our jobs as. Because like you said, for a while it's like, oh well, that's great, you're doing this. What do you plan on doing when you grow up?
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I'm in my 40s. Like,
Yeah.
is there another level of maturity that I'm missing out on?
I don't want to talk about being grown up right now.
Is my voice
My
going to
knees
change
also
again?
hurt right now, dude. Yeah.
It's like, well, when I start losing my hair, I guess maybe I might really buckle down and take that, that physics course, and I'll be a, theoretical physicist by the end of week, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, more starting to want to go into labs,
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, I love that you guys embrace that community too, because like that's what when you walk in here any night of the week, there are 15, 20 industry people scattered throughout at least.
Hopefully. It's a good run-of-the-mill night. If we can get 20 or 30, we love those nights. And we also get really overwhelmed because when you have that many industry homies that are in, you want to give yourself and your attention to them as much as you can, because again, they are the reasons that help keep you coming back in here. So yeah, like sometimes you get to a point you wish you had 2 more of yourself that you could be running around and giving them the same appreciation.
Sure.
Because they definitely appreciate us on their end of the bar. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can speak from personal experience. We send people when people ask me over at Postino, which we're neighbors here. What's the next bar we can go to? What's the next cool bar? Every single time it's like, go over to Occidental, man. Like if you're looking for a chill place with like good energy, great drinks, or just shots and beer, go over to fucking Occidental, man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's symbiotic, baby.
I love it.
I do too, man.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, you can tell people have each person's experience is very unique to them, even though they're all sitting in the same room being served by the same people. Depending on like what you're hoping to get out of it. Like, I've had guests who are, on in very professional white collar careers who come in, but they're, old, punk heads from like the 80s and stuff, and they appreciate that. And you're sitting here talking to a guy that looks like a girl in high school's dad you may have been trying to impress, and he's sitting here trying to impress you with his music knowledge and like stuff he used to do back in the day, or trying to pull up old pictures of him with a mohawk back, in the day. Whereas like simultaneously you're next to a couple of young, 23-year-olds who had never really experienced going out to a bar that often, and they're all new to the scene, but they are also, TikToking all of their drinks and asking you a lot of questions. And like I said, the experience is so different, even in the same space, even at the same time with the same, bartender.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm just feeling the. I don't even like come here that often. I guess compared to you guys, I'm comparing you come here more often than people that don't drink. I don't know.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of bars. I got a lot of.
You got to spread it
got a
around,
big
yeah.
spread,
Yeah.
No, I mean every time I've come in here, obviously for you personally, I'm happy we're here for this episode just because I came to this bar the first time for you. I had heard about it. I'm asking other industry workers about where do you like to drink? They're like, oh, you ever go to Occidental? That sort of thing. It's one of those industry bars, and that's why we want to hopefully highlight it here and get anyone that's listening that doesn't know what bar to go to, come to this one.
Oh my God, yeah. And when you were like beyond the specials, like having it's so nice that you guys have a food special too, because like not only when we get off are we ready to drink.
Oh my God.
Well, we're usually
you can't
hungry
get
as
food
hell.
late in Denver hardly,
barely any.
but here you can
Till 1 a.m.
Till
every
1
day.
a.m.
1 a.m. man, and it's incredible food.
Yeah.
But people need to know that as well, because with that shared kitchen, you guys are doing, I guess, more bar style food.
Yeah, like little quick pickups, stuff like that. But yes, I mean, the tenders that we do serve are bomb.
Man,
the
dude.
burger we do serve
yeah.
is bomb.
Oh,
Like,
bro, it's
Oh,
just
the vegan
like
tenders are great too.
man, dude. These,
Oh yes, and vegan
Yeah,
options.
it's one of my. It's one of the. I've got one friend that that comes in from out of town that's vegan, and I'm just always trying to keep my. I'm like, I can't bring him back to the same places as last time. I always have at least one new spot to bring him.
But even outside of you're right. We have bar food, but the French onion soup here is legendary, and it's very unassuming.
I haven't had it. That's what I'm trying next time.
So Ben was telling me. Ben was telling me that it is like out of this world good.
Fire.
And all this stuff. It's very similar to this. This is a version of a cranberry soda, but elevated. That's how I feel about y'all's food. It's like it's a, some tenders and some French onion soup, but the care that goes into those the recipes.
Oh, absolutely.
It's obvious, man. Like it's so.
I'm gonna say like the French onion soup they cook for like 24 hours anyway. It's on the pot and it's doing. They also have to brine the wagyu and they have to prep all that for hours before they even start even getting the soup together. So I mean like there's so much work that goes into it. The love is there though, and the value. Some lady the other day was like, "Why is it so expensive?" I'm like, "It's French onion soup," and I was like, "Yeah, but you have no idea what you're about to get." I was like, "The wagyu beef helps too, but the amount of cheese and onions, the amount of onions that they put into that was mind blowing when I saw it." But you can taste all of that in there. You taste all that love, that heartiness. All the flavors are like exactly where they need to be. I noticed Colorado has a lot of really good restaurants, but not a lot of good people who know how to season food. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand it completely because I'm from Louisiana, and like when you need to be kicked in the face with, like expressions of flavor.
Yes.
And I do love that we actually do season our food well here.
Yeah, it's all the white people in Denver. There's just too many white people in Denver for there to be too much seasoning.
Oh, there's a term I use, and I'll push this aggressively. It's I call it Cherry Creek spicy, and it's the spice level of black pepper, and it's just
But not too much.
Not too much. Yeah.
maybe. Actually, could you leave it off? Actually,
I'll let you borrow my 3.5-foot pepper mill. And you can
yeah, that is.
just be as
It
ridiculous
loses
as you can.
spice on there. It's a bedpost.
You're like, some of the heat goes away as it's traveling through the
And
tube.
they're like, oh, that's too much. Actually, it's ruined.
That's amazing, man. You guys also seem to have a really good culture of between the staff. Like the staff seems to not only work well together, but like genuinely enjoy each other.
Yeah, I mean, I find if you don't really enjoy the people you work with, like the regulars are going to feel that. The new guests coming in who don't understand why the vibe feels weird, like definitely you work together a lot, so you end up like with some brother-sister tendencies. I work with my girlfriend here, and we live together, so we run into that here or there. But like at the end of the day, you can also have a lot of fun with it because guests that are regulars are just like, oh, that again, yeah. But yeah, no, it really, we do spend a lot of time together, and a lot of us hang out outside of work too. So when you like want to do all of that and like do events together, I mean, you kind of have to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, man, I love
And
that.
especially when you have a small staff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys have to be. But yeah, if any drama here would probably spread pretty quickly.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I've definitely seen like one breakup that like seemed to cause rifts across both sides.
Yeah. Oh,
You're like
tough.
We talk about it like the before times.
We weren't friends. We were just both friends with people in that couple. I don't like you at all. Yeah. I mean, there was well, one thing that struck me, and one thing I wanted to take the chance to chat with you specifically, and I hope that we when we hit the bigger episode on it, just because it doesn't happen a lot, but especially with late night spots that run late night, obviously places where people aren't just like hammered all the time is places that ultimately tend to run a little bit better. And you know, you're one of the first, or one of the bartenders as of late, that I've had bartending me that doesn't really drink or doesn't drink anymore. I'm not exactly sure of your status, but I kind of wanted to chat about that a little bit today. Just kind of that unavoidable, especially for a bartender, balance with sobriety in terms of alcohol.
For like wet bars in general,
Yeah.
or like yeah,
Just at all.
yeah. So I mean, last year, well, actually, the end of the year before, it was what 2023. Toward the end, I had a couple of instances where I just definitely drank too much and just really kind of had to catch that like snap, like you can't continue on doing dumb things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of changed just the way I looked at service and everything. Like you're taking care of people and you're actually responsible for making sure they stay safe. Be it drinking too much, or like if they're passing out in the booth and you, like, how are you calling 911 when you're like shit-faced and not paying attention to the fact this person's been doing ketamine in the bathroom on top of drinking?
Yeah.
And
So Denver.
yeah. So you're like that, or that one person that just hides how drunk they really are, and then hop out and go jump in their car and end up hurting somebody or themselves, or going to jail.
Yeah.
So I would have to say I had to like have that self-awareness that I needed to change something. And for me, I was like, I'm going to just see what happens, in 2024. I just, stopped drinking in 2023. Decided to pick it up for June because we were going to the Patron Hacienda. We got invited over there. So I was like, I'm definitely going to enjoy the all-you-can-drink Bourdain's cask, obviously. I mean, it's a really expensive tequila nobody's going to buy for themselves. So I ended up just quarantining it off to like that 1 month where I just said, I'll go back in for it for a little bit, and realized really quickly, I was like, this wasn't even as much fun as I remember it used to be. And maybe it could have been the length of how long I had been drinking, throughout the years. I've been in the industry for, that long. Eventually it just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
And you find sometimes you have a lot more fun sober, and it actually helps you remember things with your guests a lot more. I know everybody's got a story where they had some guest who loves them, knows everything about them, and you can't remember who they are to save your life.
Yeah. Definitely.
And those are like really embarrassing moments. So that was just one more reason kind of situation, But it really doesn't bother me after you get past like the first 10 days, because I think a lot of people like 10 to 14 days of not drinking when you never had to stop doing it. It could be challenging.
Yeah.
A lot of people try dry January. We were talking about that earlier. And we, as a like service industry, we're like, yep, right around January 14th or 15th, it's going to all start picking back up again. Because that's about the extent. But to be honest, once you get past that point, working in a wet bar, even where your coworkers are allowed to drink, isn't really that hard. Like, it's just got to be like a personal thing. You have to be
obviously you never want to get too drunk if you are allowed to drink at work. But I mean, just that sort of. I mean, everyone's different, right? Everyone has a different relationship with substances and everything. And I would never want to shame anyone for any relationship they have. But it really highlights, and we've talked about it a lot. You know, you hit those points in time, but I noticed there is this sort of, I don't want to call it a stereotype, but there is this sort of there's this sort of, I would call it maturity, you know, where there's this bartender that's like, I'm done. Obviously, the vacations and stuff like that, you're not done forever. Sure. You can be, but you know, it's usually like, drinking and bartending is not my thing anymore. And I think that's, I would like to see it more. You know, I would like to be, I mean, I hope as I go, I mean, I'm 31 now, so I feel still pretty young, but you know, I currently work at a very dry bar, and I'm really thankful, just because it's starting to separate that for me at this point in my career. But like I said, obviously you could talk for hours about just sobriety and alcohol and drinking as bartenders.
I think it's most important if you're going to do that is to not push your beliefs on other people.
Yeah.
You don't want to get sanctimonious with it, self-righteous or anything like that, because for me that is just as ugly as, you know, somebody who's just, you know, doesn't care about anybody and just wants to get as wasted as they want. I mean, you never want to make people feel bad for drinking, especially at your bar.
When you make money off of people drinking. Well, I don't drink. Sure, you want another shot?
You're like, well, you know, you probably did all those dumb things because you were drunk. Maybe you shouldn't drink so.
And not make money.
Exactly.
I won't make money from you anymore. You know what? Just keep drinking. No, but it's one of those many things, and I think it isn't as highlighted for so many other industries. I mean, even something like daily drinking, right? Like just even if you're not getting drunk. I mean, I like to say a phrase, I don't like drinking, or I don't like getting drunk, I like drinking. But then you're like, man, how many days last year did I not consume alcohol? I think tasting something when you're creating something is one thing entirely, right?
Oh yeah,
but it's like, how many days what's my nightly drinking? And so many people in other industries, you know, most of their jobs, people drink on Friday and Saturday. They might drink as much as a bartender drinks in a week on those 2 days. But they don't. I've talked to plenty of people that are like, you drink at work, or you drink after work? Like, you drink all the time? I'm like, it's a full bar all the time. If you had a fully stocked bar at your house all the time, and at any point you could pour one or two drinks, what would you do? And they're like, that's fair, you know?
Absolutely. It is, you know, I mean, and we'll dive into this in a future episode we've been talking about, but it is almost, you know, I see people all the time on business meetings at noon, you know, having a couple beers, and that's not really looked down upon. But I do think there is something about our industry where it was sometimes we'll use the stress, because let's face it, this job is stressful as hell.
Absolutely.
And physically exhausting.
Especially the rush.
Especially the rush.
That, man. You know, 3, 5, some places, you know, for bars it can be a lot longer for a later night bar. That sort of super hyped 6-hour, 7-hour session where people started coming in and you're like, all right, I barely have time to drink water.
Right?
I've just had tickets for
forever.
5 hours. That's all I've done.
Yeah, exactly. I take the shot on and then after work you'd be like, man, I could really use a drink right now. And I think there is something we'll dive into it in the future of because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, what we're talking about, I don't want to shame anybody for that, myself included.
Yeah.
But it does definitely, unfortunately, put people at risk in our industry as well. You know, it can get out of hand.
Absolutely. I think with the younger generation, though, they are noticing that people younger than us have started drinking less, just as a whole. And I mean, with the kitchen culture changing quite a bit, because you know, pre-COVID, back of the house was probably working anywhere from 12 to 15 hours a day, sometimes 6 days a week, and a lot of people just compensated with substance, alcohol, painkillers, you name it, bags of powder, you name it. And that kind of culture was just from how overworked they were and how stressed they were all the time, and perfection. And I think with the changing of their culture, we've also seen a change in ours, especially with the younger crew coming in. I mean, everybody knows that one old bartender who is still trucking along and has seen. It looks like you look at him in his eyes. He looked like he's been to Nam.
I know, like actual 65-year-olds that have just been doing a few shots a night, 6 nights a week since they were 21.
They moved on to mellow corn without even making a face. And
I do like some mellow corn.
Mellow corn is delicious. It's delicious. So affordable.
No, that's totally. I think you're right. I think that there's more of a focus after COVID. There's been more of a focus on work-life balance in our industry.
100%. Yeah.
How do you maintain your work-life balance here?
Well, here's the thing. Because we're usually very social, while we're here, I don't spend a lot of time doing much else at home. I like, my daily workouts during the day, or my dopamine for the day, really helps get me in that positive attitude and gives me something to work towards every day. It also helps with my stress. Not to mention, I spend a lot of time at home. Me and my girlfriend could be in opposite rooms. She's playing PlayStation in the living room. I'm watching, YouTube in the bedroom most of the day. And we reconvene throughout the day, but it's that me time you desperately need. You've decompressed. You're not giving away your energy to anybody else. You're literally just focused on yourself. And I think that helps a lot. Not to mention dining out when you can, because we serve people all the time, and it feels really good to get served when it's your turn, So food has always been one of my favorite things in the world. And so, yeah, treating myself to things that I really love to eat also help. But there are times yesterday, I didn't leave the house. Well, no, I take that back. We had to go grocery shopping. But one of my days has to be a day where I just don't leave the house. I need to be completely shut off. Other times I'm okay, we're going to go out and hang out with, this person or that person for 2 or 3 hours. We're going to go out and then we're going to come home. Spending time with my dog also helps as well. The big old German Shepherd loves my attention so much, and I'm okay, yeah, I guess it's some of you time now.
Nice.
But yeah, stuff like that, and video games here or there, or I said, I might go on a 7 or 8 straight hour conspiracy theory rabbit hole or something, because
the iceberg videos just go down the deep.
What's going on in Alaska right now, man? But yeah, that kind of stuff is just interests that just kind of feed your soul, and trying to make sure you don't give away too much of yourself all the time. You sometimes because if you're in service for more than about 2 or 3 years, you're probably lifer material, because if you can do it for that long, I think you have the capabilities that who you are as a person is somebody who likes to serve, which I think more people should be that way just as humans. It doesn't need to always just be about you. Do something for somebody else, and I love that aspect, but also the tendency could be to give way more than you're actually willing to on the day-to-day. So yes, doing more for yourself at home is usually the best balance I found.
I love that. No, because we talked about a lot of hospitality a lot conceptually. I think that the last solo episode, just you and I, was all it started hospitality. And I think that's always going to be a super important thing is how much you're serving and how much you're giving, and in order to recharge that battery, or however, so there's a million, I don't have the word right now. I want to say acronym, but there's probably some cool acronyms for it.
Probably some cool
I'll come up with it.
This day and age,
The
everything's
spoons.
in.
I'm thinking spoons. How many spoons you can give out in a day.
Oh yeah,
that sort of thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think like you said, Jason, it's making sure you're not giving too much away of yourself.
You got to refill your cup. Yeah.
You have to refill your cup. Yeah, which actually that's almost biblical. I think it is biblical.
Yeah.
I was a preacher's son, but that's biblical.
If not, Bruce Lee said it too, I'm pretty sure.
But there's also that opportunity to, if you have a full cup, to start filling other people's cups, and our job definitely allows that, and not everyone gets that opportunity to actually do that process of giving, because then you could also get stuck in that cycle of only only serving yourself and not, being able to give and finding that balance.
Yeah.
And so we are also very lucky to be able to like have a need to strike balance.
Yeah.
There's something's being tipped, the scales are being tipped in one way all the time. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God, man. Jason, dude, this has been such a wonderful conversation, bro. Thank you so much for like coming on here and talking with us, man. This is like, we knew you were gonna fucking be awesome to talk to.
Oh, well, thank you.
that's great.
Yeah, this has been great. And again, like, it's just cool to like to bring it full circle of that first conversation over there that we had of like, hey man, I kind of had this idea, and you like continuing to be like, just like you were talking about with your regulars, like, hey man, we were talking about that. What are you doing with that podcast? What's going on with that podcast, bro? Like, this is the reason we're fucking here right
Yeah,
now.
because I mean, like, it was literally, I'm not that kind of person that would start a podcast, but I'm like, content-wise, this is what I want to listen to.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is nobody doing this? Like, because again, it's like, how do you educate people on the industry if one by one at your bar, for people who may never come back, it's hard to like educate them on like etiquette and stuff like that. I think is how we started talking about it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And it's how do you do that? And then I was like, man, this day and age podcasts. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody's got to mention, hey, that bar, standing there by the service well is meant to keep you on the other side of it. That isn't where you order the drinks.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's true.
Oh,
Don't
exactly.
Do that.
Don't-
Especially
yeah.
if you come to Occidental.
Oh yeah.
Or
You will get told. Yeah.
Same
Or
thing.
not served, maybe. It's also a repercussion.
Think about like string order people, like some of the most annoying guests in the world who are like gonna redo that every day when they go to a bar,
Yeah.
and everybody they know does that same thing, and it's driving every bartender and server crazy. And how do you get people to stop without being like completely rude to them?
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's definitely. And if you, I swear to God, if you wave money at me, I will fucking.
Put it in my pocket
I
and
will
keep
take it.
going.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I did have a guy. I was, doing the circle as you do as a bartender, because as a bartender you're going seat by seat. You're making rounds. You're making rounds through the entire time. And I had a guy that I got to, and he was like, "Hey man, I've been waving at you," and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I don't speak in waves, so I'll fucking get to you when I get to you, bro. Like obviously, you're not. I got a full bar right now."
You're like, I'm more of a particle guy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
But yeah, no, that's funny too, because the people who think they're the only person in the room, they're like, hey, I've been waiting. You're like, so have they. They just haven't been waving the whole time.
Oh, bro. That's a great way to get the bartender to ignore you is waving at your
Oh,
bar.
that was one of the snippiest things I ever did. Was a lady said, "I think we were next," and I said, "I think I get to decide that," and I just decided that you're last. She's like, "Really?" I was like, "You will get a drink faster at the bar next door." I was like, "I'm totally waiting a long time."
You've done this to
She was
yourself.
like, "Really?" I was like, "Can I get you a drink, sir?" Like just immediately. I was like, and then later that night, I was like, "Oh, this is like a pretty nice place too." I was like, "I'm glad I got away with that. That really could have gone south for me."
Yeah, dude.
I hope she got her drink.
I hope
Maybe
she got
she's
her
still
drink.
waiting.
She did somewhere out there.
What?
She did.
Speaking of getting drinks,
Ooh, I
jeez.
appreciate it.
Jason, we brought you a topo. We want you to participate.
Oh, thank you.
This is a hot toddy-esque drink. It's a bomb tiger. And then we have twice as many stars from Max. Ben made that boy. And
Incredible.
This is my pleased to meet me.
What's your name?
Look at the Dragon Ball on
Hana.
there.
Hana.
You guys
Thank you,
thought you were
Hana.
getting out of here unscathed. You've never been to
We
Occidental.
had, you heard it here. You heard it here first.
I love you. Thank you, Hannah.
Oh my God, dude. We didn't expect to be able to feature.
Yeah.
I want to drink some of that.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
you will.
no.
Yeah,
You can come try any of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Am
some
I
of these are
crazy?
for Ben.
Does this not look like a Dragon Ball to you?
No, it absolutely.
Now I'm feeling bad. I should have done something more like that for my garnish. God dang it.
You were like, what kind of nerd am I?
I know. I'm fucking dropping the ball left and right.
Wow, dude. That's
The literal
beautiful.
ball.
Sir, what do you know
I know it's basically a gin fizz. Don't remember the rest
we
of
got
what she has
some
going on there, man. But
Yeah,
that
we don't
clearly
want to give
is.
away too much. If you want to learn more, you better come in
Absolutely.
and drink them.
And not to mention, follow us on Instagram, and you'll literally see
Yeah.
everything about
What's-
the drink when
what's
we
the
we
Instagram?
put it up.
Is it just Occidental?
Occidental Bar.
It's Accidental.
Occidental
with an
Bar.
O.
Yeah.
Accidental
people,
with
people
an O.
keep asking about that too, and they think it's a joke on accidental. I'm like, no, it's like Occidental. It's
Yeah.
the West. It's
Yeah.
like, the opposite
It's
of
a word,
Oriental.
yeah.
Oh my god, that is unreal. Is this cheesecake on here? Shut the
Cheesecake
fuck up.
bites.
Cheesecake bites as a garnish and a blueberry.
We're gonna turn into just drinking, I mean, which I'm okay with.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
That's
right?
just the content.
a little spice to that, bro.
But
I'm gonna get some of that cheesecake.
I think this is a perfect time to start to, I guess, close up.
Yeah.
Jason, you're welcome back anytime. I hope we can bring you on
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
anytime. Especially if we can get obviously anything that you're super stoked about. You say it and you'll be on. We'll have more mics. I got just
Oh, no, that'd be
tons of
great.
drinks.
I just got.
Thank you guys for listening to Who the Fuck Closed Last Night.
Absolutely.
Go to Occidental, get a drink from Jason,
Yes.
and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I hope you guys had as much fun listening as we did making this episode, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to play you out with a little bit of music that my brother, Devin Stone, sent me some time ago. This is a little track he sent to me entitled Sax 6th Avenue. I love listening to my brother play music. He's been playing guitar for as long as I can remember. He's not huge. He doesn't have a huge presence online in terms of putting anything out. I wish he would. Go follow him on YouTube. It's Devon Stone 210. DEVONSTONE 210. Send him a DM or something. Tell him to post some more shit. I like it. If you like it. I guess don't tell him that if you don't like it. But if you don't like it, don't listen to the next part of this outro. For Who the Fuck Closed Last Night. I'll see you on the next one.